So today we'll discuss about first AWS integration. Second, we'll discuss about database monitoring. And third, we'll discuss about time permits. Then we'll discuss about Kubernetes integration. Today we'll go at till 10. Okay. So Kubernetes integration, 3 topics we'll discuss. Okay. So tell me, for cloud integration, what is needed? First, prerequisite, I'm asking.
Activate.
All the 3 integration. What is required? Prerequisite.
Add-ons or apps.
So in the prerequisite, for any integration, either you do AWS integration, your database, your Kubernetes integration, we required environment ActiveGate. Correct? So first, let me put my headphone. So can you hear me?
Yes.
So it required environment ActiveGate. Okay. So for that one VM is needed. So let me go and set up one VM.
Without activate also we can do it, right, Raghu?
I'll come to that point. Okay. Let me create that and then I'll come to that point. ActiveGate. Keep here. Imagine Linux only I'm taking. Then 2 virtual CPU, 4 GB of RAM. Keep a DT training. Security group. Default. What is your space? Okay. So now, for AWS integration, even database integration, yeah, Kubernetes monitoring, ActiveGate is optional. Now, you tell me why is it optional? In database monitoring, if I said, means that all the database required environment ActiveGate? No. If you talk about database, so database has a 2, right? Database running on server. You understand that? Any Windows server or Linux server. Yeah, database running as a service, which is called in AWS, you know RDS. Am I correct? In Azure, also has NoSQL. Yeah, Postgres. Yeah, Cosmos. Right? Yeah, MongoDB. So if you have RDS, then definitely required your environment ActiveGate. Now, when you talk about AWS integration, so in AWS integration, there is a 2-way. One is without ActiveGate, and second is with ActiveGate. If you go without ActiveGate, only default services would be visible. Default services means when you go to that AWS integration page, right, and then you can see the sample things, right, where you have a Lambda, where you have some EC2, whatever things, right? That only you can see. Additional service you cannot add. But however, if you when you go with ActiveGate, you can add any service, whichever service you are using in AWS. Okay, so that is the benefit of having an ActiveGate. So first we'll go with without ActiveGate. We'll be doing that integration. So then we'll go with ActiveGate integration. Okay. For Kubernetes, ActiveGate by default it will get installed. When you deploy Dynatrace one agent on Kubernetes cluster, by default, your this thing will get installed. ActiveGate will be running as a service. So I will show you that. Okay. So now I'm coming to my Dynatrace portal. My Dynatrace portal is launched.
So where Ravi, I mean, sorry, I missed it. You said like by default the active gate is created in which one?
In Kubernetes.
Okay, so we don't have to create manually anything then.
Yeah, we don't have to create manually. It is already during this one agent deployment itself, Kubernetes is a part of that.
Okay, in real time, like when we are working at the like corporate place.
Yeah.
So same. Okay.
So let me copy the temp email ID because going one browser, different browser, it would be difficult. Okay. So now let me copy this here temp email, otherwise it will be difficult for me also. Credential.txt. Okay. So now let me save this. So now I came to Dynatrace portal, right? So first I will do the cloud integration. So to have a cloud integration, if you see AWS page, today also Dynatrace is slow. Whenever we are taking SaaS trial, little slow only.
I guess we need to try different region. Maybe that can maybe help.
Yeah, it is good. I think we should try Europe region.
Yeah, something.
Europe, yeah, pack.
Yeah, pack. I tried that one. Looks fine.
So everyone can use the same account. I'll give you the credential. Okay. Why? Because again, giving the access and you are using different. You need to use different. Either you need to clear your browser, and then otherwise, what will happen is, this is your Dynatrace URL. What will happen is, if you try in same browser, it will not allow you to log in. You need to clear your cache, everything. Otherwise, you need to try in different browser. So you try in different browser. Okay, whichever you wish. Okay. Either you clear your cache, everything, and then you try. Yeah, you can use the same username password. Okay. So you see, right? If I'll go to with sample view demo screen for cloud integration, this is your default service. Okay. This is your default service so that you can able to only this many service will get visible. Other than that, you cannot add any service. Okay. But when you go with cloud integration with prerequisite, which is your environment activate, here you will have an option, which is your configure service. Here we'll have option. Here. Okay. Here you'll have options to configure a service. Okay. So first we'll go with the without ActiveGate integration because we have set up the VM, but we have not installed environment ActiveGate, right? So just I have created a VM. After that, we'll installing a ActiveGate. Okay. So I will go here. Dynatrace AWS integration. Go here. Go here. Let me see that which document is good. This is your marketplace. See why it is giving Datadog. This is not. So this one. So this is your document. So we have admin permission, which is fine. Active get capable for AWS monitoring. We'll use later. Okay. So this is. So now not this one. Imagine web service. End-to-end guide. Okay. So this one. Okay. So you see here, right? Deploy with no active get, deployment with existing active get. So first I'm going with deployment with no active get. What is required? Your AWS account ID. So AWS account ID you'll have here. Which your account? This is your AWS account ID. That's it you need. Okay. AWS account ID, and then you need external ID, which is from Dynatrace portal. Okay. So I will go to my Dynatrace portal. I'll create a external ID. So I will go my setting tab, classic setting. And you see here cloud and virtualization, AWS, connect to new instance, just to type AWS demo. Okay, this is the account name, whatever things you want to give. Sometimes you can add account ID also. I am going with only role based. So there is a two way of authentication. You can have either a key base or role base. So example for key base, only China and US government. Whenever you have applications for China, then only you can cloud you have for China cloud, then only you can go with key base authentication. Yeah, US government only. Otherwise, everywhere you have to go with role based authentication. Okay, it does not support. So roll up the connection. Later generate. So I will go and here generate a token. Not needed. I will put it when you do the AWS integration. That time we'll get a role name. Imagine account ID we can put later. Generate a token. So this is my external ID, which is fine. I have generated. I'll go to my documentation, and what it is saying is you download this with no ActiveGate template.yaml file. So I will go here and open this. I will download. Just you go and download this file, and this file has complete stack things. Okay, what are the service you see, right? You see the service here. You see, these are the service till here. Okay, so all are service, and we need to create that. Okay, role name you see here, Dynatrace monitoring policy, external ID we can give in the UI, everything. So no need to do any changes in this YAML file. Any changes is not needed. None of the options. Earlier, if you go 2 years, 3 years back, there is we need to add your external ID, this all those things. You need to change that. This is your role name, and Dynatrace monitoring underscore role. So there is no changes in this. In the AWS UI itself, will ask you to put this name. So I'll go here, and it required CloudFormation. So CloudFormation, nothing but is a template for AWS, so where you can create anything, any services in AWS with the help of CloudFormation. Either you want to create a Kubernetes cluster, yeah, you want to create a EC2 server, you want to modify some policies, everything you can do via CloudFormation. So that template you have to write for that, and you need to deploy the template. Whenever you run the template, it will go and it will update that. Okay, so I'll create a stack. Okay, I'll start from upload from template, a file, which is your template already we have. Upload it. Download section. This is my template. Go next. Enter stack name. So just you type no active gate. Okay, no active gate. External ID. So external ID, earlier we had upload, right? It was not the options. Now we have option in the UI itself, so no need to give this. So external ID we have copied from here. So I will copy this. This is your external ID. Okay. So I will go to my cloud formation. I'll add external ID. That's it. Go next. Apart from that, nothing is required. Just basic permission. Go acknowledge it. Next. Submit.
What is the purpose of creating this tag?
So with the help of this, it will create a role. It will create a lot of things in the background. It will create a policy. It will create all those things. Okay. Because we are not going with a user base, right? Access key and secret key, all those things. We are going with a role base. So it will create a roles, everything. So you see this template, right? Okay. So with the help of this template, you see, IAM policy, it is creating. This is your Dynatrace monitoring policy. It will get created. Okay. With the help of this policy name, what are things will get? It will, that policy will allow this many services. Okay. So those kind of things earlier we used to do manually either, and yeah, you can write a template. So Dynatrace giving you the template, just you have to use the template.
Ravi, is it updated one? This one showing 3 years ago.
This one?
A template, yeah.
Yeah, it is updated. It's the latest one. I'm copying from portal.
No,
You see
but
that?
once we're going to get, they are showing 3 years ago, right?
This template was created 3 years ago. After that, they have not done any changes.
But in the AWS side, few new services are adding, right?
So new services getting, you can add it. I'll show you that. Okay.
Oh, okay. Here in the Dynatrace, you meant to
In
say.
Dynatrace, yeah.
Okay, I got it. Got it.
Okay. So I will go here and you see it is creating that. So you see it is creating a role. So if you go IAM and see this, what are things are getting created? I will open the role. I will open the policy. You see Dynatrace monitoring role got created. You see this, right? Account ID for this. If you go policy, let them update. Just to type here, Dynatrace monitoring policy got created. This monitoring policy has a permission. What are the permission you are giving? So you see what are the service you are giving. See, out of 446, we have adding 67 services. Now, you wanted to add any services, either you can add in the template, in this template, and then add. Yeah, you can, if you want to do manually, you just go and edit this template. See, this is the service, right? Again, you have to add. Which is the service you want, you can add it, and then you do the changes. You understood that? Whatever the service, if it is not getting added, not showing you for that service, then you can go and do the changes. Okay. So that's how it works. Only role and policy will get created. Okay. So now your policy got created. I'll go my Dynatrace portal, and what is the role name? So if you see here, right? You see this is your role name, Dynatrace monitoring underscore role. And what is the Imagine account ID? Which account ID you can see? This is my Imagine account ID. Let's check that whether template got created or not. My hashtag got created successfully. Only role and policy has to be created, so it won't take much time. So I will go here and just I'll go connect. So I am monitoring all the resource. Also, you can add, like suppose I wanted to have only few resource. Out of that, you have added all the service, but I wanted to have few resource. You can see selected by tag. You understand that? So whenever you're creating a service, right, you can have a tag, no? You see this. So this is your service. You see this tag, right? Based on this tag, also you can able to manage that only that service should get visible. Okay, so that also you can do that. So I'll cancel this. Already we have.
So these tags referring AWS tags, not the
Yeah,
Dynatrace tags, right?
yeah, correct. You're right.
Okay.
So that is the reason I have shown you, right? This is the tags. So suppose I'm managing tags. I'm adding new tag. Environment demo, and save this. And I'm going to Dynatrace portal. I'm saying this, edit. I'm saying this, have any tags, key name, environment, value, demo. Only that service will get visible. You understand that? So this is your AWS tag. Any service we have, where option you have, you can have a tag. Okay. So those things also you can do that. So you can manage that services properly. Suppose you have 100 of services. Out of that services, some of the service you don't want to get for your service. Suppose you have 100 of cluster. On that cluster, only in Dynatrace, 5 clusters should get visible. If you add all the service, all the 100 cluster will get visible. So I don't want to get visible in Dynatrace. You have all the 100 cluster only, which has an environment demo tag, yeah, environment prod tag, environment some cluster tag, whatever the tag you have added, application tag you have, that tag you can mention that. Based on that, it will filter. Only that service will get visible only on the Kubernetes side. So selected by tag, if you do, then all the services you have to add the tag. You understand that? So that's how it works. So now if I'll go to my AWS Classic, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Ravi. So in real time, like, do they do selection by tags, right? I'm sure.
No,
Like in
rarely out of suppose 10 customer, if 10 customer is doing AWS integration, one of them will have a tag, yeah, two of them will have a tag. In that tag also, for few, okay, few account, you'll have a multiple account. Okay, in prod you'll have a 10 account. I have a root account. Okay, this is your root account. In that I can create a multiple account. You understand that? Region by region I can create that. For one application there will be one account I can create. So there is a root account. This is my just for demo cloud. So that is the reason I have not created multiple account. But in the organization level, in prod AWS instance, you will have for one customer with one main entity. Under this there will root account. Under root account there will be 10 sub account. So all the 10 sub accounts you can integrate. Okay, depend on that. They might have wanted to integrate only 2 account, 3 account, something like that. You might have seen that. If you have worked on Dynatrace, anyone, and you have seen that AWS integration, you have seen that multiple AWS integration in the Dynatrace UI. Okay. So,
okay, thanks.
so now I will go to my AWS Classic page. You see, AWS demo got added. Now you are seeing I am going with now you see configure service got visible. I have only one instance. So one instance is getting visible because only one instance, because other than that trial got expired, so I have deleted that instance. So it got but I have only one instance which I have created right now. So that instance is getting visible. And for that instance has the EBS volume. So all those things is getting visible. Apart from that, if I wanted to add any other service, which is suppose I am adding AWS Certificate Manager Private Certificate Authority. What it is saying? Can you add this service? I cannot add this service, right? Because it's a grayed out. Because selected service required
Activate.
active gate. So only whichever the service is default that you are seeing in the UI, same service you are seeing that. Am I correct? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So only that it will get visible. Apart from that, none of the service it will get visible. You got it? What is the benefit we have when you have don't have AWS environment activate?
Yes, yes.
The default one is sufficient means no need of, I guess, AG, right?
Huh,
Activate.
no AG. Okay. Now we are going with AG. So I will go deploy ActiveGate. Let me go here. public IP over extra. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, yes.
For others, Navina, Srimai, Srinivas,
Yes.
Bosa. If you have any doubts, don't hesitate. Okay, you can ask. I'm also like you only. Okay. C2 hyphen user private key. Let me upload that. So Navina, you are working on Dynatrace? Yeah, how's it?
No, I'm in uni.
You are in different profile?
I'm in uni.
Uni means
University. Student.
University, yeah? University, you mean to say?
I'm a student.
Okay, okay.
That is AI way of talking. I'm just kidding, guys. They call uni here for anything, anyone in school. Ravi. So Ravi, I see mostly you're doing this EC2 instance. How about the Azure environment? Sometimes if they have to do it on the Azure box, because is it mostly done in the Unix environment only, or mostly like the setups, activates, and all that?
Activate support only Linux.
There's no Windows.
No, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, AWS 2023, I think, right? And few of the RHEL.
Yeah, RSCL and all. Earlier we have only RSCL and all. Later they added Amazon also, but Windows not there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for confirming that. Who is that just spoke right now? Was it Sagar?
Was
Vasu. Okay. Thank you, Vasu.
Sorry, I was speaking on mute. What is the command to restart your ActiveGate?
systemctl restart Dynatrace activator.
No. Systemctl, if you want to check the status, okay, Dynatrace gateway.service. Okay, remember this because this is the basic thing. Sometimes in the interview they used to ask.
Okay.
Okay, so for one agent dot service. For ActiveGate, Dynatrace gateway.service. Okay, understood? So this is your one agent. Now if you go cd slash var slave Dynatrace one agent, ls okay, cd gateway ls cd config ls. You see there is a custom property config.properties vi config, oh sorry, escape, vi config properties. You see, so what is happening? You see here where your gateway log directory, in this var log Dynatrace gateway temp directory, this is your tenant directory, root directory, this is your things, log, debug, log console. You see what is this? Port SSL 9999. What it will do?
That's the environment activator.
Activate. This is running on that port. All those things. You see this? This is your collector details. So I told you, right? Collector things you have to do the changes. Suppose you do this. So these are the things you need to change it. Okay. You see, suppose AWS monitoring. We have this. You see AWS monitoring enable true. Suppose I don't need Azure monitoring. What I will do? I'll keep it false. Insert false. I'm keeping. Now let's see on the Dynatrace portal first what I wanted to show you that so that you can correlate in better way. Now you see here AWS enable, Azure enable, all the thing database, extension, Kubernetes, log, OTLP, REST, one agent routing, everything is enabled. I want to disable this. Suppose I want to disable Azure. Where I should go? I kept the false, right? Now escape colon WQ exclamation mark. I'll restart the agent. Where it went. Restart, it will gone. Because after that, any configuration change, right? Restart is needed. I'll restart my service. Your configuration got updated. Azure will go away from your Dynatrace portal. This is not needed, right?
So if we don't enable, don't disable it, that will be like charged on the.
No, there will be own charge. Okay. Now I am using only, my customer is using AWS only. Why we need Azure? You understand that? Why need pivotal cloud foundry? Okay. So those kind of things we used to disable, right? Why you used to enable that? Everything, suppose you are staying in flat, you have a 3 gate to come inside the room. Okay. Whichever things you are used to, that gate only you will open, right? Always. Whichever things is rarely used, we'll open that whenever we need that. Am I correct? Just we have disabled. So now you see Azure we have disabled. So you don't see that. So nobody can insert. You understand the security? Because
Yes.
sometimes this active gate, okay, Azure, let's use this. Now this active gate is used by different service also. Now it is consuming more resource. Now you have to increase the resource. You should not aware of that. Hey, Azure is also integrated from this active gate. So whoever is paying, you need to take care of that, right? Only that service I used to be visible. So those kind of things you can modify. You can do that. That is depends on yours how you are doing that. Every security, I should not open anything. I'll close each gate so that it will be easier for me. So I have done that. Now I will go with integration, which integration with ActiveGate. So I will go with ActiveGate. I need role of your environment. So I will go here and create a monitoring role. You see, I'll open this. Let me 1 second. Let me delete this existing template. Okay. So I will go here, open this. I will download this file. And what I will go here, stack, go to cloud formation, create a new stack, upload from template, role-based access monitored account. Okay, upload the file. Okay, file got monitored account got uploaded. Next, Dynatrace underscore monitored underscore account. Okay. ActiveGate account ID. Okay, it does not accept underscore also.
Sorry, Ravi, missed it. What is the purpose of this stack?
So now I am going with ActiveGate. Earlier we went
Yes.
without ActiveGate. Okay, now we are going with ActiveGate. So I have
So now
to
you are creating the role again.
Role again for that. Okay.
Okay.
So for ActiveGate, where it is running. So ActiveGate is running on which tenant? Same tenant, same AWS tenant. So I can use this. So I'll go here, add my ActiveGate account ID. Okay, ActiveGate role, external ID. So external ID I can copy from my Dynatrace portal. It will be the same external ID. So I will delete the existing integration. So I will delete this. Connect new tenants. AWS prod. Okay. Role base. So this is only that ActiveGate ID, whatever you created, same. Okay. So copy this. So account ID. This your external ID. I'll go to my cloud formation, add your external ID. And next, accept this. Next, submit. Now, what is first thing? I have created this. Now this is created. Now let's go to the document. Role I have created. Now I need role of your environment active monitored role. Now this I have created this, right? Role of environment ActiveGate, right? Now I need a monitor role. So this is my monitor account role. This only we have used, right, just now? Open this. Role-based access monitor account template.yml. Role-based access monitor account template.yml is the same. So I have to use then this one. Role of your environment. One is this.
I guess better to recreate.
No, two is needed. Role-based access monitor account.
Role-based monitoring too.
And one is monitored account.
Yes.
Monitor is, this is your monitored account, right?
Yeah.
And this is your monitored account. So this already we have used, na? Monitored account we have used, which is fine. Now I will go with two role is needed. So role one is for cloud environment active gate. So where we have environment. Okay. There is anything?
Bit above.
No, there is a two roles. So one is this is monitor account, and where
Yeah.
it is another role.
Click there only. Bit above. Bit above.
This one, yeah. This is your AG account, ActiveGate account. So this I need to download. Sometimes the role create and fail
Because the fields are different, Ravi. So that's the reason you exchange roles completely.
let me delete this
Right.
first. It has a confusion because it will have the same name, right?
Yeah.
Policy name, all those things. That is the reason it got failed because already exist. Let me delete this also. There is an order. Got down. Now I will go with template. So I will go with first AG account. Dynatrace. AG account. Okay. Activate external IDs. External ID is this. Hope there is no confusion, right? Because your policy and role name is same, na? So it cannot accept because already the same policy already exists. That is the reason. So now it is getting created. Let them create. Now go another stack and create a new stack. Upload a file and AG account, now monitored account. Monitored account. Okay, ActiveGate account ID. So ActiveGate account ID is this. External ID is this. Okay. Go next. Accept this. Next. Submit. So both are getting created in progress. Wait for a few minutes. If you go inside.
And AWS is not, Ravi, we are creating these tags, roles, and this is also AWS will be charged.
Yeah, any service you create in AWS.
Any policy also they will charge. Okay.
If you are having an IP, which is your static IP, there's a two types of IP, right?
Yeah.
Which is your dynamic IP and one is a static IP. You understand? Everyone knows that, right? Suppose you use a static IP, means IP never will get changed. When you restart your server, when you stop the server, or when you start the server, right? IP should not get changed. But I am using dynamic IP. If you want to assign this instance to a static IP, you have to create elastic IP. Okay, and if you have elastic IP, for that also it will be charged.
Okay,
So,
additional charge.
additional charge, which is huge costly. Because if you use elastic IP, right? IP, then what will happen is if you want to use means that server is always with you only because IP is assigned. Okay. Now, whenever I'm stopping the server, resource will get freed up. IP will get freed up. Am I correct? So somebody else is creating a server, that IP can be used for same region. Are you getting my point? So for whatever things, only they will charge me for, if my server is stop also, they will charge me only for a storage cost. Because they cannot give that 40 GB of storage that I have used, yeah, 30 GB, yeah, 7 GB, yeah, 10 GB, that cannot assign to other person. But other than that, they can assign. But whenever I'm using, whenever I'm starting the server, automatically they'll assign some IP, whichever IP is available for them, and they'll assign my memory based on that, my instance. So instance size. So they can assign, but storage they cannot. Storage you have to use the same. Am I correct? So that is the reason it will be chargeable for any service you use in AWS. It will be a chargeable. Okay.
And one more doubt, we have free instances, right? So
Free instances, just they are saying it is a free. If you go with a launch instance, right? Services instance, and you want to, any service you want to create, free tier is one virtual CPU, 1 GB. Not that is T2.micro also not a free instance. Let me show you. See, free tier. Wherever it is mentioned as a free tier, I'm now tell me in one virtual CPU and 1 GB of RAM, which application you
no,
can deploy.
we can't use it, but normally, like when Linux or Windows agent, we can test it, right? That's
That only you can. Just you install the agent and that's it.
yeah.
That you can test it. Apart from that, if you want to deploy anything, what
not-
you will test?
yeah, it's
Nothing you can test. So always you have to go. Now I will use one virtual CPU, 2 GB of RAM. What is the cost? 0.023 USD per hour. I'm using Amazon Linux. Now, if you use, suppose I'm using Red Hat, you see that cross will go higher. That is the reason always I'm using Amazon Linux.
So like even like in the real time, are they everyone is using the EC2, the AWS?
In AWS server, if you are using AWS, by default, depend on the customer to customer and requirement to requirement. Mostly, if they wanted to all the applications support Amazon Linux properly, then they used to go. Otherwise, they used to go Red Hat. 90% they'll go Red Hat because Red Hat support everything, right? Otherwise, then they will go Ubuntu.
Okay, so mostly it's Red Hat and then AWS.
Amazon Linux, because Amazon is a AWS subgroup. Okay, you see, right?
Okay.
AWS given by AWS. So whatever the service you have, so AWS, that's now my application does not support my Amazon Linux. Example, earlier just like ActiveGate does not have Amazon Linux. I mean, Vasu is knowing that, right? So it was not there. So now I cannot use that. So I have to use Red Hat, right? So if those kind of restrictions you don't have, then you go with Amazon Linux. Otherwise, when you have some of the binary or some of things does not support you in your Amazon Linux, then people used to go Red Hat. And because for this only AWS has to release, but Red Hat is globally used. So people that any service, that any binary, any files, any whatever this, it will have available publicly. That is the reason people used to go with Red Hat.
So
Okay.
it's all depends upon the technology stack, what of the application.
Technology. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
So now I have all the stack got created. So now what I have to do is I have to go to my instance. I'll go to my action, security group, modify IAM role. So whatever the policy was you have created, so I need to attach that, which is your Dynatrace ActiveGate role. You have to attach to your instance, which is your ActiveGate. Okay. And update the IAM policy. Done. I'll go to my setting, AWS prod, role of this connection, Dynatrace monitoring underscore role. Okay, so I'll change to policy to role. A role and Amazon account ID. This is my account ID. So I'll get this. Okay. Now monitor all resource. I'll connect this. It's got created. Now you go to your AWS Classic. Demo gone. So AWS prod got added. Wait for a few minutes. Then I'll show you the KPI. So this is some kind of your cloud services. So cloud services means sometimes some of the service, SNS, simple notification service, yeah, any service which you cannot directly monitor with the help of one agent, any integration, right? Then you have to go with cloud integration so that cloud service visibility you can monitor in Dynatrace. Okay, means see, monitoring means I don't want to leave any single thing, right? Same way it goes to application also. So I wanted to monitor everything from the cloud side. Also, I want to see everything in the cloud, how it is behaving, how many services are running, how many services are stopped, how many services are terminated. Okay, what are the things was deployed on that? Those kind of information also you can get. Apart from that, you will get more visibility on the cloud side also, cloud KPI, so that you can monitor your application with the full KPI. Okay. So wait for few.
For getting the data to Dynatrace, we need to pay any fee for AWS.
Yeah, AWS is charging 0.000 some dollar. I'll show you that to Dynatrace.
For all data, like there's no restriction in the data.
Based on that service, what are the service you are monitoring? See, Imagine will charge 0.01, earlier 0.00025 per 1000 metric request from the CloudWatch API. Because whatever the data metrics you are getting, right? So AWS will charge to us. I am sending a data via CloudWatch to Dynatrace. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So all the data, that metrics you see, right, it is sending via CloudWatch API in the backend. So that Imagine will charge to us. Hey, I am sending your this many packet to your Dynatrace. For that, I am charging this much.
Okay.
Okay.
Ravi, yes, Ravi. Regarding that Dynatrace active get, so previously we used to configure without proxy, right? Like directly sending the data to Dynatrace SAS. We saw like it will send to ActiveGate and some processing will happen and will send to SAS. So how we can check and how we can configure that too?
So I am configured with ActiveGate only, right?
Nice. Like how the host will send, is there any configuration needed to send that host data to ActiveGate and then to SAS?
No. What is happening is, I will tell you. Now, see, Dynatrace server running on where? Dynatrace SAS cluster, which we don't have any control. Am I correct? So whatever the AP metric it is sending via CloudWatch API, okay, to Dynatrace without ActiveGate. So Dynatrace is telling these are the metrics. It can be stored in your Dynatrace server. Now Dynatrace has a boundary. In Dynatrace running on which side? SAS side, which is opposite. We don't have any control. We don't have any access because managed by Dynatrace. So now you have added many services, and Dynatrace cluster got broken, got crash, anything, right? Suppose it happened, then what will happen? Who will be the responsible person? Dynatrace, because it's running from the Dynatrace. So Dynatrace is saying now you want to add any additional service, you send and you store the metric in ActiveGate. Boss, I don't know how you are sending and how the metric is getting stored. I don't know. I am giving the document, which is fine. If there is a bug or something, only ActiveGate having an issue, not your Dynatrace, because metric is getting stored where?
In
ActiveGate, so that only Dynatrace server will take the data from the ActiveGate and showing the UI. Are you getting my point? So Dynatrace server doesn't have anything, doesn't store any metric. Dynatrace server does not store your any KPI. Why? Because you are sending via ActiveGate. Now you send via directly, then that metric has to be stored where? Dynatrace server. Earlier we went with without ActiveGate, so default KPI, which
so it will be on the server. Yeah.
It on the Dynatrace server. So now Dynatrace, okay, this many KPI, this is the basic KPI I can store in my server. Okay, I have which I can manage. Apart from that, if you are adding any services, I don't know. So better you store. That is the reason they did not allow to add any additional service. Why? Because you have to store in environment active. You have to store somewhere. For somewhere we have to have another additional component which is your environment activate. So now all the metric it will get a stored environment activate because we went via environment activate. So these are the KPI also will get a stored environment activate. So now environment activate has a stored. Now I am seeing the data. Dynatrace UI will take the data from environment activate SaaS cluster and will showing the UI. That's it. Got it?
Okay.
You understood?
So if you want more historian data means we need to add a much drive space in ActiveGate itself, right? Or
it will be the compressed format, doesn't that much needed. So now suppose you see I am adding suppose AWS chatbot. I can add the service which I have a right because I have used this. So now it is connecting to AWS. My SaaS cluster is connecting to AWS. Now checking, hey, any KPI is there? Yeah, these are the KPI. So now it got added. So now you see 7 KPI got added because these are the default KPI. Okay. So now you see I can add any service. Now I want to want IoT analytics. So now CloudWatch API will go to IoT analytics and check any services available, any service running, no, any KPI is there, whatever the KPI, it is visible. So only that KPI you add, whichever the service you are using. So I am using chatbot. So now
So
it got
these are
added.
services sent by CloudWatch API.
Yeah, all the data it will send via CloudWatch API.
So Ravi, like in the interview, also like even in the jobs, like they're asking about do you have exposure to AWS CloudWatch? Is this all things we have to work on in the real time? What you're showing right now?
Yeah, for Dynatrace, but sometimes people does not send the data to Dynatrace via CloudWatch API. Okay, because AWS also will consume some license. Am I correct? Consume, na? Okay, and because you see the licensing right for Dynatrace documentation because it is a generic metric data point and therefore subject to the licensing. So if you go to the licensing document, okay, there will be consumption from the Dynatrace also, and AWS is also charging. Okay, so now what I will do, I will whatever the KPI I want to create, you see how the charging is happening. So whatever the charges is, it is Dynatrace charging plus AWS is charging. In spite of that, I can create whatever the KPI we have. So I can create that KPI in CloudWatch. Okay, all the metric because here you don't see any CloudWatch metrics. In the background, it is happening. You see anything?
It doesn't show anything.
Anything. It doesn't show because CloudWatch also is kind of observability monitoring tool. Okay. So here,
We need to enable, right? Then only it will show, I guess, right?
we need to enable during the service. You need to enable the CloudWatch service, all those things. Then it will send the data. Otherwise, when you do the Dynatrace integration, all those things, right? It will be and in the CloudWatch, right? It will you have to fetch from the logs and you need to create a matrix. A lot of things because here also we have infra monitoring, APM monitoring, everything you have. You see this, right? APM, log, AI, Gen AI, lot of things we have in database, Lambda, application side. So we have that. So sometimes organization, they want to create a matrix in the CloudWatch. All the metrics, whichever the KPI they want, they'll ask you to create in the CloudWatch. Sometimes.
So there is no Dynatrace involved because it has its own monitoring. Then
It has a own monitoring. Okay. Sometimes you can do the integration so that now whatever the KPI is getting created, now 7 KPI got created. You have seen that, right? Okay, AWS Classic. So now whatever the KPI you're seeing, so this IoT Analytics 7 KPI that Dynatrace is creating in the back end, who has created? Nobody has created. So it is created by Dynatrace. It is created by this pipeline, whatever the integration you have done. So see activity execution error, activity. So same KPI will ask you to create there also. They'll ask you what they are doing. I will tell you. Honestly, they will do first AWS integration, enable those services, and they'll ask you what are the KPI they have for Dynatrace. Same KPI you create in CloudWatch API, CloudWatch.
So then you do the integration with Dynatrace.
Then you remove the integration in Dynatrace because the AWS is also charging.
Oh,
Double charge, nah, because Dynatrace is also consuming a license, which is your DDU, Database Data Unit. AWS is also charging, so it's a double charge. So now you prepare the food at home, okay, which is fine, and you have it. Once again, you order via online. Hotel will charge from which platform you have used. That platform fee will get charged. Then it will get involved delivery person will charge, then it will come to you, right? So it is a huge charge. So same thing. So these are the KPI created by whom?
Default it created.
Default is created. So now it will who will charge? AWS will charge, Dynatrace will charge, because both guys work together. Then these are the KPI got created, right, by default. So both of them will get charged. So what customer is doing, they'll ask you, that engineering manager, they used to think, hey, do the integration, check for that service what are the KPI they do have, understand the KPI, understand the data, and then you do the implementation in the CloudWatch. I don't want AWS integration. I want AWS in this service. You don't add basic service like that. People are doing. See, if Dynatrace is more clever, you should be on top of that. Then only you can save the money.
So how would we know that these are the services which we need to remove it? I know you look for AWS, only AWS IoT analytics, and you know these are the.
Now in my AWS, what are the service I am using? Suppose I will be using EC2. I will be using RDS. I will be using Kubernetes cluster. I will be using Lambda. I will be using S3 bucket. I will be using simple notification service. I will be using certificate authority. These are the service basically people used to use, right, in the organization.
Yes.
If I am using some IoT product, then I will be using IoT analytics. Am I correct? If I'm using Kinesis database, which is streamlining, okay, those kind of perform streaming and all, then I need those kind of database. So I will add those service. One by one I'll add, not add one shot, because this many KPI it take 1 week to understand, 1 week to get it deployed in proper way in the CloudWatch. So what I will do, I will do the integration. Only that service I will add, and then I will try to replicate in the CloudWatch. Done. Remove the service. Add another service. Like that customer is doing. Leads are doing. Architects are doing to save the cost. Now, sometimes you join an organization which is in a higher position. You need to reduce the cost. How people are reducing the cost?
To disabling the service and
disabling the service and disabling now they will think, okay, hey, for this AWS is also charging, your Dynatrace is also charging. So what we can do is, for same KPI I can create in the CloudWatch, and I can do the CloudWatch integration to whichever the service now, whichever the things you want to do, I can do that, and you can send the data, send alert to there. Then I said, okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, now suppose now every organization you wanted to have single glass, right? So that single glass means one platform where you can see everything. Then Dynatrace is used. Now everyone will not have AWS access, right? For this KPI, I will get the alert, L1 team. But do I need to have AWS access? I'm not sure whether they will give or not. So what action I will take? No action. But in Dynatrace, I can see that which service, how it is happening, all those things. So that how it is doing that. Okay.
Okay.
Understood? So now, if you go to your AWS prod, I have save changes. Okay, so now if I'll go to my AWS Classic, so my service got added. Now I will go to my Data Explorer and check. And now we'll be doing the database, then your service will get more visible. Now you will have a KPI, which is your database for AWS. And whichever service I am using, that service will get shown. Now you see, you type AWS. So see RDS, why it is saying? Because there is no metric, because there is no metric. Now you see ActiveGate for AWS, I am seeing this KPI. Apart from that, I don't have load balancer or DynamoDB. I don't have EBS volume. I have, so that is the reason KPI is getting visible. EBS volume, run this. I'm getting the data, right? You see this? So whichever the service I am it is available right now, I am getting the data. Apart from that, I am not getting any data because only it is getting gray dot. Why? Because I am not using that service. Okay. Now, so hope is it clear for everyone how you can integrate Dynatrace with AWS? Any interview question they'll ask you, can you able to answer? What is prerequisite with ActiveGate, without ActiveGate, cloud formation template, modifying the policy, adding into the ActiveGate server, attaching to ActiveGate servers, updating that, all those things, enabling, disabling the service on the deployment status. That if you see multiple services enable, how you can enable, how you can disable, all those things you have understood. Any questions?
Just can you be able to give a quick overview in short about with ActiveGate, just quick overview, that's all, and you can wrap to the session for the next chapter.
Okay, so for ActiveGate, right? ActiveGate is a additional component of your Dynatrace, because you might have seen that 1 week we have implemented in Dynatrace without ActiveGate, right? We have deployed applications, we have done a lot of configurations, right? Real user monitoring, APM monitoring, we have done that, we understood that application, all those things, okay? So without ActiveGate also you can do that. That is the reason I'm saying ActiveGate is an additional component of your Dynatrace. Whenever you need, you wanted to route the traffic, only routing is not, because routing plus cloud integration, you want database monitoring, you want to have Kubernetes, you want to have Pivotal Cloud Foundry, any integration, you have any custom plugin that you have developed. Plugin, you understand, right? Plugin you have developed. Okay, so those kind of things, if you have developed, then suppose there is a RabbitMQ. Just to see Dynatrace. RabbitMQ, everyone know that, right? MQ extension. Now GitHub. So this is your Dynatrace extension for Python RabbitMQ. So now this extension where will get deployed? In your ActiveGate. So this kind of things, right? Whenever you do any extensions you develop, is developed by Dynatrace, you have to use the extension. You require environment ActiveGate. Okay. So first thing, ActiveGate, you understand. ActiveGate has 3 modules, which is your cloud integration, routing, extension, database, all those things. Second is synthetic monitoring from private location. We discussed about in the synthetic monitoring. Third is mainframe. Whenever you want to route, send your data to a Dynatrace, you have to go via ActiveGate. It does not store their KPI to your Dynatrace server because it has to be routed via environment ActiveGate. Then you need an environment ActiveGate when you have a mainframe application. Okay. So this is your overall understanding of environment ActiveGate. Okay. Now, if you have a managed, there is an additional component which is your cluster ActiveGate. Dynatrace cluster Dynatrace server is different. Dynatrace cluster ActiveGate is different. Okay. Cluster ActiveGate, you can say it is some brother of environment ActiveGate, same. But when it will be used, when you have a data from, because your man is running on your customer environment, and some of the applications running outside of the customer environment. Okay. Then you want to send the data from external network to this network, then you have to use cluster ActiveGate, first thing. Second thing, when you have mobile app and you wanted to enable their RAM monitoring, then you need to have a cluster ActiveGate, which is in managed, not we are talking about SaaS. Okay. Then you have a serverless application where you cannot install Dynatrace one agent, then you have to use cluster ActiveGate. And then you have a external network, because your Dynatrace manage will sit in your customer environment, because Dynatrace server, right? It will get created in your customer environment, all those things, right? And then your application running outside of the customer environment, now using Dynatrace, some like a Dynatrace, which is your outside of environment, and that data you wanted to ingest in Dynatrace, again you require cluster activate. Is it clear for everyone? Yes, no? Okay. So now is it clear for everyone that AWS integration? Shall we move to database? Nischal.
I mean, yeah, it's good, but we also have to work to understand more on this.
One time you do the integration, okay, I'll recommend you everyone the way I told you, right? You create AWS account, use that, throw it, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So that way if you use and you do the setup once, okay, it will helpful for you and you can understand end to end, okay? Because if you don't do the integration, I can understand, you can listen, you can able to crack the interview also, the way the way you understood. The problem here is you will get little hesitation, because when you do the integration in your account in the proper way, and that is sometimes whoever in the every batch, whoever done the implementation end to end one shot, they are, I'm getting their feedback, hi Ravi, I got the job. Every batch I have seen that. Some of them, they are watching because they have worked on Dynatrace UI, they know and they understood that configuration, they are able to also crack. Some of them because they have not invested a time. At least I am putting a 30 hours, you put 10, 15, 20 hours, and then you do the integration. That's it. I'm not saying watch the video, just to forward and let's see that, and then do the implementation in your account. That's it. Okay. So now,
Ravi,
Sure.
yeah, go ahead,
like
Manu.
whenever we install that ActiveGate, all the traffic will router via this ActiveGate, right? No need any extra configuration on any
No,
side, right?
no.
Okay, right.
So now, extra configuration means you see this. Install ActiveGate. Now ActiveGate run on which port?
9999.
9999, right? Now, when you select that Windows or Linux, it can be installed on Windows also, for sure, okay? Either when you select Windows, Linux, anything, right? You see this. These are the port has to be open. These are the things IP has to be enabled if
So these
your
are the outbound IPs
out,
for ActiveGate.
yeah, because now one agent will send the data to ActiveGate. For that, in the outbound connection, you have to add this many IP so that it will send the data via ActiveGate. Why I have not added? Because I have open for all. Okay, so that is the reason I have not added. If in your customer environment, because 9999 port has to be open in your source IP and destination IP. Are you getting my point? See,
Yes,
source is your ActiveGate server, correct? Destination is this
SaaS
IP,
account.
SAS, which is fine, cluster, and it has to be sent on this. Okay, so that is the reason these are the IP has to be added in there, so that they can send, it can be send the data. Okay, so now instead of this IP, what people used to do is sometimes instead of IP they can find the fully qualified domain name, which is your you can check via NS lookup. Okay, NS lookup and IP, if you type, it will give you the fully qualified domain name. So instead of adding a 6 IP, you can add a 2 3 fully qualified FQDN details. Okay, that's how it works in your customer organization. Okay,
Sure.
now, okay, so now coming to the database monitoring. Hey, 1 hour it took. So database monitoring, I think we can able to complete only database. Database monitoring, there is a two types of database. Am I correct?
Yes.
One is database running on where? Server.
Server and RDS.
Server which is your Windows server.
And Cloud SQLs, no?
Okay, Windows server, yeah, Linux server. Am I correct? When you talk about on-prem database, where it is running, you log into your Windows server, and then from you are connecting to their RDS that client they do have, right? Am I correct? You are selecting that. Am I correct? When you talk about database as a service, database as a service, you will not have service, you will not have a server. Okay, it is running as a service. You have to connect that database services via database client. You have to install database client. Am I correct? Yes or no? Everyone is aware of that?
Extension, right?
Database client, okay, which is your extension, you can say. Okay,
Yeah.
so now to connect your database services, what are the database services we have? Like in AWS we have RDS, in Azure we have Cosmos, then we have NoSQL, we have Postgres. Okay, then in Google we have what service? I don't remember. So these are the service we have, right? Even in your cloud also, database also can be run on Windows Server. So if you see this, you can understand the difference. If I'll go to my instance, I'll create one instance, launch instance, and I'll select my Windows, and I will let them load. I will go browse, search MS SQL. Now I am getting I am getting the marketplace, which is your AWS marketplace, which is your AMI, which is your. So now you tell me, I am MS SQL server. Just to type MS SQL server. Now it is where it is getting installed. Windows Server 2020-25. Am I correct? Where it is getting installed? 22. Okay, with where it is getting installed? 2020. Where it is getting? 2019. Red Hat Linux 8. You are getting SQL Server. So you see that. So this is your running on server. But whenever we are using cloud, you can see that, right? Each service rating. You see this 3, 2. So there is a lot of bug. Some binary update, this update, that update will be too much. So that is the reason in the cloud, nobody is going, either you go with the AWS marketplace or community, anywhere you go, and whichever the Linux OS you want. Suppose I want Windows, whichever the OS I need, all Windows only. I'll select this and I will see this. It is loading. Okay, their feedback is not that much good. That is the reason people are not going with this. Okay, if you go to your RDS, whichever the database, suppose you want to create MS SQL, you want to create Oracle, you want to create Postgres, you can create in the RDS. Okay, so RDS, where is your database? Aurora RDS, wherever you call. So you go here, you can able to create a database. You see here. So now if I want to create a database, you can create Aurora MySQL, you can create Postgres, you can install Aurora MySQL compatible, you can create MySQL, you can get Postgres, MariaDB, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, IBM-DB, to any database you can create. So to connect this database, it will be the server who is managing. AWS managing. Only you have a client which you can connect the database, and you can create your database, you can create a table, you can whatever things you want, you can fetch, write some query, you can whatever things you can do that. But however, you cannot have a server and you cannot go log into the server, and just you will have a connect. You can connect to your database using client. Just a minute, I'm getting one call. Sorry. So we have this. Okay. So what I can do is I can create a database. So suppose I want to create a database. So to database integration, right? What things are needed? First thing, as a prerequisite, I should in first thing is, so if you talk about either you go with, so now, so if you talk about database monitoring, so tell me what are the prerequisite? Prerequisite is first is ActiveGate. Am I correct?
Yeah.
First one. Second one is you need to inform database team. Hey, create a one user. Any username, which is your DT user, you can say. Okay. And this user should have only read permission to database. Read permission means basic permission. They can fetch the data. They cannot ingest the data with the help of this user. Okay. Now, once you have created a DT user, then that's it. You have to create a user and you need to inform your database team to create a user with the basic permission, list permission, which is your read permission, and then that's it. Database team done. They will give you the credential, which is your username and password. Even you can connect your admin user ID password also, but that admin username password, right? It can be visible if somebody knows, right? They can connect to your database and they can do something. That is the reason we should tell you create a user which has a basic permission. Means this is your service account. Everyone knows that service account, right? Account. Okay. Means you need to inform your database team to have a service account. Now, so I will go to first, let me create a database. I'm going with Microsoft SQL Server. Yeah, I'll go with which one you say? Postgres? Whichever you say.
SQL Server should be fine here.
Okay, so I'm taking SQL Server and I'm taking easy to create. Okay. So database instance identifier name, instance size I need to take. So I need to take which is I'm taking free tier, which is your 2 virtual CPU, 1 GB. I'm taking dev test. Okay. Database instance identifier name, which is your APM-DT. So let me keep this. I need this kind of details later on. So I'll copy this. I'll open this database instance identifier name, which is your APM-DT. Now I'm going with I'm going self-manage master password. I'm giving the same password. Okay. Oh, let me ask ChatGPT to generate some. Nishal, I ping in the chat that URL and username and password for Dynatrace. Okay, you can use the same username passwords because everyone should have account access, right? Random password. It will ask 12 digit, man. So this password we can take. Control C. I will go here where it is database we have here. Where we have a database. Okay. Control V. Oh, this is also valid. Okay, let me give this. Random password. Okay. Now go here and add this. Add this. Okay. Now let me use this. This is your password. I'll go here. Now these are things you want to don't connect with EC2, you want to connect your EC2 instance. I don't want to connect, and I'm going with EG create. Means EG create means default. Okay, because the database creation, right, all those things, it is not our responsibility. Okay, it will already it will be created, so that just you have to use that. So you need to inform your database team, hey, create that, create a one user, and then you give me the credentials. Okay, so all this multi-zone availability, those things are disabled. Okay, so I'm going with EG create. So anything else? So I need username, which is your admin. Username, which is your admin. Okay, I'll create this. I'll go and create a database. Never. So it takes some time, maybe 10 minutes. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can ask. Meanwhile, any questions related to Dynatrace, I can help you in that.
Ravi, can we monitor storage devices?
A storage device means what?
Like NAS and SAN related things.
Device, a storage device, right?
Yeah.
Which device you said?
Like SAN and NAS storage devices are there, right?
Dynatrace monitoring using
storage devices.
A storage device. Any storage device you can say. Dynatrace can monitor your storage device by ingesting a data from various sources, including custom device. Yes, you can monitor that. Extension, plugin, those things you can do that. So you see a storage management and monitoring and observability. You can do that. So let me close this. Tell me any storage name. NAS. I can see some. Tell me the storage device name.
We are not sure exactly, so
Azure NAS, I don't see exactly. See, pure storage. Pure storage, I know. So see, it can be monitored, right?
How
with the
about
help.
blob? Can you check for blob?
Okay, for blob storage, that is blob table you have. You see Azure blob storage. The Azure blob storage means Azure, right? So we have that. This and the things, right? Whenever you use the cloud integration itself, that blob storage, whatever things, storage service, you can add that. Okay. So transforming your enterprise data to UC, you can do that. Yeah, I told you, right? Whenever you do the cloud integration, that self you can add the service. Suppose for AWS integration, you have S3 bucket example. You go here and you see we have a S3 integration service. S3 by default it is there, na?
Yes.
S3 by default it is there. Sometimes what you have to do is, suppose S3 bucket is there. Okay, so what I will do is, whatever where it is S3 bucket, I'll delete this. Now you are saying anything KPI? No. So I'll delete this. Save changes. And add again S3. So now you see the difference. Built-in has some basic KPI. S3 you have more KPI. You understand that? So now so built-in also has a 3 KPI, which is fine. So now you see this is fine. So 4x error, if that service is not visible, 5x error. Service has authorization issue, yeah, 5x error, service is down. Okay. So this kind of things you can able to, okay. In Azure, we have a blob storage, all those things that also you can monitor. Okay. So storage device can be monitored using Dynatrace. Even if you see in the hub, all the things, whichever things you see, whether Dynatrace is supporting or not, either you wanted to go for an interview and you have something in the job description, hey, this thing, whether Dynatrace is supporting or not, something is not covered in during this training, because everything you understand, right? Do I need to cover a LLM part? No, I cannot do that. I don't have that. So I can. So suppose they'll ask you, can you monitor using SNMP? Just you type SNMP.
We can.
We can. SNMP trap we have. With the SNMP trap, you can monitor your event-based data, syslogs, everything you can do that. Juniper networks, they can ask you. Cisco networks, they'll ask you, hey, can you monitor the Cisco networks? So now, why I'm telling you this kind of things, right? I'm having a Cisco network. Why I'll tell you. Dynatrace, basically, people are migrating from observability tools to Dynatrace with the whenever you are using AppD, or Datadog, or New Relic, this kind of things, right? Now, just to think, they are using some network monitoring, okay, network device. Now, you are which is your SNMP, your Cisco network, Meraki network, right? Yeah, any device you are doing the monitoring, you are fetching the data, you are monitoring via SNMP trap, all those things, network firewalls, all those things, you are monitoring that devices as well, routers and all. Now, your that observability tool, somehow you are monitoring that network also, and then you are monitoring infrastructure also, database also. Just like example, SolarWinds. SolarWinds has a network monitoring. Yes,
Yeah.
or no?
Yeah. HPNM also.
And also SolarWinds has a infra monitoring.
Yes.
Yes. Database monitoring. Yes. Basic KPI of application service. Basic KPI. Okay. That has a SolarWinds. Now, tell me, now SolarWinds also earlier migrate from SolarWinds to Dynatrace more complex. Earlier, because SolarWinds they used to win. Why? Because I have a network monitoring. Now you don't have. Now we have a network monitoring. So now easily we can migrate infra, network, database, and application. Dynatrace is a godfather on that. So it is helpful now. So earlier Dynatrace was sometimes it was getting backward, because even when I was working, even I was seeing that whenever we are doing the migration, right? If something comes via SolarWinds, yeah, logic monitor. These are the infrastructure monitoring tools. Hey, network device, we can't monitor that. So hey, we cannot use Dynatrace. So let it be this tool only. Okay. Now I'm saying that yes, you can do that. So that is the reason they have added all the SNMP trap, everything, so you can monitor entire things. Application, network, infra, synthetic, RAM, database, cloud integration, everything. Platform is a kind of platform now. So you can monitor everything. So anything new, whichever things you think like, okay, it is not covered or something, whether it is supporting or not, either you go search Dynatrace document page. Yeah, you create a trial account, you go to your Dynatrace. Even you can go to your Dynatrace hub directly in the UI. Directly search, you see, Dynatrace hub. Okay, just like a ServiceNow store has a hub, right? Same way Dynatrace has a hub. You go and search this, whether it is supporting or not. That's it. Okay, understood?
So SNMP monitoring, right? So for the SNMP monitoring, we do that in the SolarWinds for all the network router components, right?
Yeah.
So
SNMP.
we can replicate the same here too, right? As is, or like it's complicated.
So it is that extension you have. That trap has to be configured, and then to the rules, all those things you can, and you can add all the device. Either you can add manually. It will be automatic discovery. So we have two way. So whenever you're using SNMP trap, right? So there is a two way. One is you can add a manual device. Manually you can add one by one. Okay. Yeah, you can add auto discovery. Auto discovery automatically will detect everything. Okay. So that if you type about type SNMP, so trap we have, and SNMP we
Yes.
have a auto discovery trap. So there's a two different extension. If I'm going with automatic auto discovery trap, means automatically when you add this in the network and you install this, automatically it will trap that all the devices, network device, and either you add all the device manually, because of once you add the device, you understand the data, then you auto discovery, everything getting set by default. You can't have a control. Am I correct? But when you have SNMP, you are adding manually, you will have a lots of control so that you can analyze everything, right? See, now I am doing integration. I'm expert in SNMP. Then for me it is good. Now you are doing first time, you will be adding you'll be adding when you are doing first time. People, what you used to do, hey, let's add the device manually, understand everything properly so that you'll have a full understanding, and then you go one device, you add it, network device, and then you see the data properly, KPI, everything, then you add, then you delete, and then you add or auto discovery. No, data, I understood that, you can go with discovery now. Yeah, sometimes people understand first, right, and then used to go that. Now you expert in that. Okay. So now I'm an expert in Dynatrace one agent. Yeah, Dynatrace configuration. Do I need to see that Dynatrace what I have to configure? Directly I start from Terraform. Right. So, and if you very new to Dynatrace, right, first you see the UI, you see that where is the option deploy one agent, what are the options we have, you understand that each option configuration, then you see the data, correlate that everything, and then you go for automation. Am I correct? That's how everyone mindset. Okay, either people are, you are sitting in very higher position, yeah, mid position, yeah, lower position. Everyone has the same mindset. So let's see whether my database got created. Okay, just it is still it is getting ingested. So for database, right, is configuring that all those things. So for database, what port? MS SQL 1433. So first I have to check whether 1433 port is open or not. So I'll go to my security group. I'm using only one security group. So I will check for which is your MS SQL, right? 1433 is open, and this for all network. So I no need to have anything outbounds. Okay. So now what I will do is I will go to my Dynatrace portal, and I will go to, already I'm in hub, close this, and you see here, you can understand that. Okay. So if you type MS SQL, right? So this is my local. What does it mean of local? Local means it is running on server, and then you have a database. You have seen that, right? Database Windows authentication means whatever the Windows, in the same way it will authenticate your database also. Am I correct? And one is your database extension, which is you're running on. So if you use this, you'll have a, if you install this plugin, you will see this. You can correlate that. Okay. Okay. I'm getting ActiveGate and host also. Am I correct? Yes or no? Wherever I want. For SQL Server local, you can use both the option. I don't have ActiveGate, I can go with the single host. On the host itself, this plugin will get installed, which is your local. Now, I can close this, and I'll go with this. It has the option only ActiveGate. Why? Because we are using database as a service.
This is also called as a SaaS also, right?
SaaS?
In the SaaS
Database as a service used to call.
okay, database as a service. Okay, in the SaaS environment. No.
Mhm.
This is the AWS version of my MSQL server, right?
Yeah. This is a RDS. Relational Database Service. Why it is taking this much time, man? To hub to get it loaded. So this is your database, right? MS SQL. So now this extension you want to install, where it will get installed? You see that you'll have only ActiveGate option. You see, only ActiveGate. You don't have one agent. So that is the reason I told you, right? For database also, MS SQL local only has a option where you can install one plugin, one agent also on the one agent server. Okay. Apart from that, either use Cosmos, Postgres, okay, Oracle, anything you use, you have to use ActiveGate. Okay. But when you install extension on your local server, even you have a limited KPI. Limited. Some default, whichever things you go for a default, right, you will have a lesser value, right? So these are the things we have. So I have to use this. I'm using this because I have to using as a service. I have to use this, and I will install the plugin. So to plugin to get installed, so database running on host, right? So I will get some on the database. I will get, this is your endpoint. This is your, to connect to your database, this is your endpoint. I'll go to my endpoint. I'll add this port running on which port? 1433, which is your default port. What is your instance identifier name? Instance identifier name is APM-DT. Okay. What is your database name? Tell me. Database name, MS SQL default database name. Let's add tempdb. Yeah, because inside the database here you have a multiple database. You want to monitor all the database, then you don't give the database name. Okay. Authentication. So I have not created a service account. What I can do is I can go with the username password which we can connect to the database. So which is we can go with the admin. Only same user inside the database. People used to have the database team has to create, and then they have to have a read permission. That's it. Password. Now I'm not using anything. I will disable this first, and first I'll check this whether it is working. So first check database got created. It is active. Okay, my database active. So I will go hub. I'll open this. Go next. So let me add a database also. MSDB. Okay. Master database. They used to have long interval query, which is 120 second, which is fine. Endpoint metadata. This is fine. Description. MS SQL database monitoring. Can add this. Security context. This is not this product ID, cost center. This is not this many KPIs we have. Okay, go here and save it. Close. So I have closed. I will go configure. Now, so this is started. Now go to health and go to your log. But any issue happened, right? You have to check in the logs. Let them load. Monitoring configure creation successfully stored. That's all those things. Create an environment extension. Install this monitoring configuration created now. Okay. Just now we have created it. Wait for a few minutes. And it take pending because it will go here, there, all those things. Okay. It will take time 5 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes.
So what are the challenges do we face in a real-time basis while trying to set up this extension? Because I think, are you doing the local or the remote? I think you're doing the local extension, right?
No, I'm
Because
doing the remote one because I'm
oh,
using database as a service, right? Database not running on server.
server, okay.
So I'm using, so I'm getting error. So I will go here, fetch log. Why I'm getting an error?
Database name is correct, Ravi?
That's what I'm thinking. Failed to assign active get. This is fine. There is a query, right? Query has to be run, na? They have updated different way. No, there is a query where you execute that, all those things. I don't see. Okay, fetch log. Active get, which is fine. That active get was not assigned. Okay. Why active get was not assigned? This is fine. Instance name APM-DT. Database name MSDB.
Otherwise, keep it blank, database name.
Okay, next. If you keep blank, all the data get visible.
Yeah.
Check the health. In database integration, you will face some challenges like database name, all the. So now my configuration got updated.
Ravi, one quick question. When you try to integrate, it captures only basic metrics initially, or it captures the native metrics also. For example, when I say native, the query level performance and all those things, right? If not, there will be only basic metrics like
No,
response.
Dynatrace, whenever you add in the database, whatever the query is running, all the query can be, everything is getting monitored. So no need to have any custom plugin. Like suppose other tools, right? Any custom query you want to monitor, you should have in their configuration file, add the query, develop some plugin, and you use that. Am I correct?
Okay,
Dynatrace
because
monitor your entire query.
okay, because there is a case where we are using Gigabyte DB, but Gigabyte DB has a separate monitoring tool called Gigabyte Anywhere.
Which one?
But we also use Gigabyte Anywhere. That's also
Yugabyte.
monitoring Gigabyte. It's a Postgres commercial version. It's a distributed SQL like Cassandra.
Okay,
Postgres.
Cassandra, Hypercube, all those things.
Yeah. So there we are seeing. So in Dynatrace, I could still see database related metrics only related to the response times. For example, if a API call makes a query in the background, that query response alone is visible in Dynatrace. But for the native level metrics for each query, slowness of the query, the detail level metrics is available in Yugabyte Anywhere. So that was intentional. But my
But I will
question
tell
was,
you, a drawback of database monitoring in Dynatrace. The way that other tools, like if you compare with Appdynamics or Datadog, database monitoring in terms of Dynatrace, little lower. Every tool has a USP, all those things. Compared to that database monitoring, when you install Dynatrace One Agent as a full stack, on top of that, you use that custom extension which is on ActiveGate, you can see level of KPIs, but the way they are showing the KPIs is completely different. Okay, and on this also, the way people look for database, that way the Dynatrace is a little on the lower side. Even I felt that.
Okay.
Okay. Still having errors here.
In AWS side, AWS services added. I meant to say in the settings under AWS managed service we have it, right? Yeah, no, not here. We done the AWS integration, right?
AWS integration we have done. That is not related to database monitoring. That is not related to that AWS integration, right? It's completely different.
No, RDS service we added there. That's might because
RDS by default it is there, man.
Okay.
If you don't do database integration, AWS integration also, right? Still you can do the database monitoring, right? So there is no dependency. Still my configuration got updated. Apart from that, nothing is happening. Yeah. Because of database, we have not added. Okay, connection string I need. Let me disable this. Let me add MSDB. I think I remember mine. MSDB. Database. MS SQL Server. TempDB, MSDB. These are default. It has the MSDB, right? We have that. Only ActiveGate is not. Why it is not getting assigned? Configuration updated. Only ActiveGate has to be assigned. That's it. At least we'll come to the pending state. That is fine. Then I can say it will work. Sometimes you'll have an issue on the plugin also. So this got updated. Hey, SQL Server created. You see? Now you see here? So wait for a few minutes. Let me run the query. Wait for a few more minutes to see the data.
Ravi, for database which are running in server, the one agent is more than sufficient, or do we need to configure anything like this Microsoft extension?
No. If database running on server, you need to install one agent. Okay, one agent is needed. Okay, so now see, APM-DT, that whatever the database name, instance identity, everything created. Start info. Okay, wait for a few minutes. The status should be green now. Wait for just see, now it is coming to warning. After that will become a green. I don't know first time what we did. Nothing we did wrong, right? First time.
I guess it takes
The first time
to connecting, I guess.
It was
we
not connect.
enabled that SSL.
Maybe SSL was disabled. So now it is getting assigned. So now see, it got assigned. So host this database running on this. So we are using this. And now you run this query. So now for database got created. If you go database, now if you go here, type here database. Okay, database service. You can see your database. See, one database instance got added. So in this database, there is no query inside, nothing. That is the reason you can't see anything. Like you will see all the database which is inside this, okay? But you don't see any statement, all those things. This is your database. A statement performance, you can't see anything because we don't have anything. But you will see basic KPI, user connection, uptime, logins, block process, what are the processes, which are the process getting blocked, memory manager KPI. You are seeing this SQL statistics. You can see here how many batch requests, how many complications, compilation, log, buffer manager, okay, and latches, everything you can see that. Now, where you can see all the database because we have a MSDB, TempDB, all those things, right? So if you see here, where I should go, vendor available health, which is fine. Statement general.
Yes, you mentioned one database name, right? That is the reason it's not showing other database. If it is blank, it will show all, I guess, right?
I think no. Just wait for a few minutes. So here you don't see that. There is a UI man. If you go to your database, it is not coming. Now database overview, which will open your dashboard. One second. I need to call her. 1 second. So now you see that, right? So because we have added only one database, right? That is the region. So DB types one everything. There is another database page. Okay, if you go database service classic, little different. Same data in different way. Hope is it clear for everyone? Oh, it is not coming here. This is not coming here. It is only that database service. Okay, so if you go extension all type MS SQL server configure, you see now status is green. Okay, so health everything is showing that everything still it will get updated. Okay, so now this is the plugin we are using, these are the extension we are using, these are the KPI we have. Okay, KPI means same KPI you can see in the data explorer. This is your product information. So what are things you can see? So if you go to your data dashboard, you can see this dashboard. Okay, overview of SQL Server metrics. Okay, if you open this, then you can create that. You can see all dashboard.
First one.
SQL Server overview. And then we have something called SQL Server logs, database overview, 3 dashboard we have. Then you can create a custom dashboard, whatever things. Okay, combined 3 KPI, 3 dashboard in one dashboard. So now you have this. See. So see 5 database. They are fetching now. That's what I was telling you. It will fetch. In dashboard it is showing. See, master DB, MSDB, RDS admin, all those things it is coming that. So you see this is your database, one dashboard, there is another dashboard, this is your this for lock, because so this is your wait time, this is your query, this is your most recent pull, all requests. You see, right? That is the thing I told you, no? All requests it will get pulled. So everything that Ganesh, I think you have asked, right? You have to write a DQL query and then you have to fetch this, okay? This kind of information. You have to fetch from the logs. So it is not that much simple, you say, but everything you have to fetch from the logs.
So you said using DQL query, right?
Yeah, DQL query.
So okay, so we need to be a little bit trained on the DQL side for that to fetch the logs, correct?
Yeah, I will be giving you that. Don't worry. When we'll come to the dashboard, I will be giving that how you can write a DQL. I will not give you that much you can, because this is a database query, right? So I will not give you that much confidence like, okay, I can once that 1 hour I can understand DQL end to end. You will get basic understanding on the DQL, okay? So that basic KPI like host health, the CPU users, memory users, disk users, process, these are the basic things you can able to do that. Then this is a query, right? Now you think like I'm a fresher. Now you'll keep writing. Then you will get had a more exposure on the DQL query. Because DQL query, it can be written on the 50 line also, 1 line also, 2 line also, 10 line also, 20 line also. Depend on that what kind of customization you are looking for. Okay. So this is your database.
While you're covering that, right? Just maybe if you can show some real time, like
Yeah, everything that DQL query I will be writing, I will be doing the real time. How you can get the list of hosts, how you can get the list of hosts, then tabular format, CPU, memory, disk, how you can get the process, how you can get that, how many problems we have occurred, what is the CPU utilization, all those things.
I meant to say in perspective. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, just a minute.
Ravi, if a database is running on a host, so what would be that procedure?
I think it has to go to the local extension if it is on a on-prem device. This is remote on a cloud.
Okay, do we need to install the agent as well, the one agent on those?
Yeah, we install one agent on that.
Yes. Like you have to go do the one agent, and using the management zone, you can pull that information of the DB information from the management zone on the local using the local extension.
Local.
I mean, I did it in the past. That's why I'm telling you.
Okay.
Maybe it's something different. I don't know. No.
So that's hope it is clear for everyone, the database monitoring, how you can do that. Is it clear?
So someone was asking about the local, like how it is to be done on an on-prem device if the DB is sitting on the on-prem device. So how
you can use that local also. You can use the ActiveGate also. You have a both option. If you are using local, then if you're running on server, then one agent has to be installed as an infra mode. If you install as a full stack mode, you'll get more visibility on the database side, and then you do the integration. So you will have when you install the plugin can be installed on one agent also. It can be installed on ActiveGate also. Okay. Okay, so that's it for today. Just you go through that. I'm not deleting anything right now. Okay, just you go through that because tomorrow we have again class. So I'm not deleting database, all those things. You go through that tomorrow morning, that UI, understand that completely thing. And then tomorrow we'll talk about Kubernetes and log monitoring for that because we deploy application, right? So we'll talk about log monitoring, all those things. Okay.
What time is tomorrow morning? Again, like
tomorrow morning, tomorrow same